What if I told you there's one simple documentation trick that can save exporters thousands in delays, demurrage, and even fines? It's not a new regulation, not an expensive platform, just a smarter way to handle the paperwork you already create every day. Let's uncover the one habit that separates experienced exporters from those who constantly firefight at the border. Welcome back to Ask the Customs Manager, where we transform complex trade compliance into practical competitive advantage. Today's topic is something every exporter wishes they'd learned earlier: how to use a simple document process to prevent customs from ever rejecting your shipment again. The problem: every export delay I've seen starts with one innocent mistake: inconsistent documents. The invoice says one thing, the packing list says another, and the bill of lading adds a third variation: different weights, inconsistent descriptions, or missing Incoterms. The result? Your goods are held for verification, the buyer is annoyed, and you pay warehouse or vessel delay fees. The trick I'm about to show you eliminates that entire category of mistakes. Tool, the trick, I call it the single source document matrix. Instead of preparing each export form separately, you create one master data set, your single source of truth, and then generate every other document from it automatically or with copy-paste precision. One file, one version, one set of details used everywhere. The logic? If every document starts from the same verified data, they all tell the same story to customs, banks, and the buyer. How it works. Here's how any exporter, large or small, can apply it in practice. 1. Start with the commercial invoice. This is your blueprint. Double-check product names, HS codes, unit prices, Incoterms, buyer and AMP, seller addresses, and currency. Once this is perfect, use it to populate every other export document. To link the packing list, use the same item sequence and descriptions as the invoice. Only add packaging details, cartons, pallets, net gross weight. 3. Generate the transport document. Provide the carrier with the exact same consignee, notify party, and reference numbers. Mismatched details between the invoice and bill of lading are among the top causes of export detention. 4. Copy the country of origin and Incoterm directly across. If your invoice says CIF Hamburg, your certificate of origin and insurance certificate should repeat exactly that, no variations like FOB Germany. 5. Use digital templates. Create export document templates linked by formulas or shared fields in your ERP, spreadsheet, or trade platform. When you change one value, say the container number, every document updates instantly. Why it works: customs officers, freight forwarders, insurers, and banks all cross-check your documents. They're scanning for consistency. If every line matches, inspection times drop dramatically. It's the difference between a 5-minute clearance and a 5-day argument. You're effectively telling the same coherent story across every touch point, and customs love coherent stories. Bonus tip: validation before dispatch. Before printing or sending anything, run a quick 3C check. Codes: are HS codes correct and identical everywhere? Consistency: are names, weights, and values cloned across all docs? Compliance: are licenses, permits, and Incoterms properly referenced? A 10-minute validation saves you the cost of one missed sailing. Case example: one of my clients, a textile exporter from Leeds, kept losing days in port because weights varied between the invoice and packing list. We set up a simple shared Excel matrix with named cells: ACE code, product, net gross weight, invoice value, Incoterm, and country of destination. Every document they issued now draws from that sheet. Result: 0 delays for 15 months and a 90% reduction in queries from brokers and banks. For larger companies, if you already use an ERP or trade compliance platform, the same rule applies. Ensure a single data source feeds all documents. Audit periodically that your invoice, COO, and export declaration draw from the same master record. And make sure teams handling finance, logistics, and compliance speak the same data language. So, the one documentation trick really is no trick at all. It's discipline. Build once, use many times. Create a single source matrix, and every shipment you send tells a flawless story from factory to customs to customer. And flawless stories clear borders fast. If this lesson gave you a new way to simplify your export documents, hit like so other exporters find it too. Subscribe to Ask the Customs Manager for more practical compliance techniques that save time, money, and sanity in global trade.